Hello everyone. Today is class number 28. Class number 28 for your subject EMFT. Okay. So today's topic is Biot-Savart law. Okay, the first basic law for magnetostatics. First basic law for magnetostatics. That is Biot-Savart law. So what is Biot-Savart law? Right. The Biot-Savart law states that the magnetic field intensity dH vector, that is magnetic field intensity dH vector produced at a point P due to a differential current element ideal, produced at point P due to a differential current element ideal. That means we are taking a conductor carrying a current I and considering only a small length dl. Okay, so this I into dl, when this current is approaching to that length, then the current component will called ideal. Okay, so the Biot-Savart law will produces, this is the magnetic field intensity produced by a, that is the magnetic field intensity produced by this current component ideal over a point, on a point P, which is r distance from that current component. Okay, r distance from that current component. So is Roman 1. That means, again I repeat, the Biot-Savart law states that the magnetic field intensity dH vector produced at a point P due to a differential current element ideal is directly proportional to the product of current I and the differential length dl. So directly proportional with the current I and the length component dl of it. Okay, so dH is proportional to I into dl vector. Okay, or dH vector is proportional to I into dl vector. And second one, and right, directly proportional with the sine of the angle between the element, and the line joining P to the element, that is the current element to the line joining to that element. So this is your theta. Okay, this angle is taken as theta. So this dH is proportional with sine component of this angle theta. And third law will be the inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the line component to that point P. That is inversely proportional with the 1 by r square, or dH inversely proportional with r square. So therefore, by combining these all equations, we have dH vector proportional with I dl sine theta by r square. Okay, and you have to make it equal. In order to make it equal, you have to consider a constant over here. Okay, so this constant is nothing but 1 by 4 pi. Okay, so this constant is 1 by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. Okay, so 1 by 4 pi equals to k, equals to proportionality constant. Okay, so when I dl sine theta by r square, so what is the sine theta? We are taking a vector dl and the r vector. Okay, so dl cross r will be written as dl r sin theta, right? But here r is absent, so dl cross ar cap can be written as dl sin theta. Why? Because ar cap means what? The unit vector along r vector, unit vector along this direction, this is r direction, and the magnitude of this unit vector is always 1. So whenever we are making a cross product, this dl into 1 into sin theta. Okay, so the magnitude of ar will be 1. So here we can replace this concept, that means 1 by 4 pi I dl cross ar cap divided by r square. Okay, I dl cross ar cap divided by r square. Okay, so again we can replace this ar vector with r vector divided by modulus of r, that means r vector by r only. So 1 by 4 pi I dl r vector by r cube, right? So this is the final expression for your magnetic field intensity. This is the final expression for magnetic field intensity. Okay, so differential one. Okay, so if we integrate it, now we have to integrate it. Okay, so after integration we have the complete h. Okay, so h equals to integration of dh, right? So that will be equals to, if we consider this, it is a line vector, so it is a line vector, then 1 by, or you can write equals to I dl cross r vector divided by 4 pi r cube. It is a line integral, or can be written as surface integral of I dl cross r vector, or here it will be replaced by ds. Okay, ds cross r vector 4 pi r cube. And similarly, if we consider it is a vector 1, volume 1, so then actually for your okay, so ignore this first. Okay, so first take it this one. Okay, first take it is the line. Okay, so now write similar to, okay, this is the ultimate expression for your Biot-Savart law. Now write something, and you can form this type of surface integration and volume integration. Okay, so first let me write some extra points, okay, or facts. So write here, the similar to the different charge densities, we can have three types of current densities. Okay, so line current density. What is I? When this I is current flowing through this dl, then this I itself is line current density. When this I is flowing through this unit length dl, then we can say that this I will be the line current density. So line current density is I, and surface current density, the unit of this line current density will be ampere. Okay, ampere. And surface current density will be your j vector. Okay, it is I vector and j vector. Okay, so it is a tensor quantity. Always remember, it is not a vector, it is a tensor quantity. Current is a tensor quantity. New type of quantity is called the tensor quantity, because it has a magnitude and a direction, but it cannot be treated as a vector. Okay, it is a tensor quantity. Okay, and surface current density is a vector, pure vector quantity. The unit will be ampere per meter, and the volume current density will be k vector equals to, or unit will be ampere per meter square. Okay, so therefore H can be written in form of the surface current density and volume current density will be I dl cross r vector by 4 pi r cube, which will be equals to, or can be written as, or double integration, surface integration I ds cross r vector divided by 4 pi r cube, or can be written as triple integration, so it will be j, right? J and it will be K dV. C, it is a scalar vector quantity, but dV, volume is a scalar quantity. Okay, volume is a scalar quantity. So K cross R, that will be 4 pi R cube. Okay, so this is, it is the all formulas for H vector. Okay, so now Biot-Savart law has two applications. Biot-Savart law has two applications. What are the applications? So first application is, right, magnetic field due to, so it has two applications. First one, magnetic field due to the current in a straight wire of finite length, and second one is magnetic field due to current in a finite radius circular loop of wire. Magnetic field due to current in a finite radius circular loop of wire. Okay, so okay, so wait for 1 minute. Okay, so there are two applications. It is a for straight wire, current in a straight wire of finite length, and it is a finite radius circular loop of wire. Okay, okay, so now let me start for the first one, that is, so make a heading. Okay, Biot-Savart law actually is your first topic. Okay, Biot-Savart law is your first topic. So second topic will be this one, magnetic field due to the current in a straight wire of finite length. Okay, so we consider, right, we consider a differential element dl vector. We consider a differential element dl vector carrying current capital I, carrying current capital I in the z direction. In the z direction, that is, we are taking a conductor along the z direction carrying a current I. Okay, the location of the source is represented by dz az cap. That means we are taking a differential length dl, which here can be treated as dl vector dz az cap, because we are taking it in z direction. Suppose this is a z axis. Okay, we are considering it is in z axis. So this dl vector, the differential length, can be treated as the small differential length in a z axis multiplied with the unit vector of z axis. Okay, so dl vector can be written here dz into az cap. Okay, so next, right, the field point is located at some point P. So this field point is located at some point P. Suppose we are considering a point P having a magnitude r, 0, r, 0. Okay, so that means P, the testing point, we are taking at r, 0, that is along, which is along x axis. Okay, so this is along x axis. So this is your x axis you are taking here. Okay, for this case we are taking, this is a x axis. Okay, so next, right, the relative position vector, right, thus the relative position, so this is this length is smaller, and from this dl this length is taking as capital R. Okay, this length is taking as capital R, and this amount taken as Z. So here we can write that this Z AZ cap, so applying the triangular rule over here, Z AZ cap plus R vector equals to the closing arm of this triangle, that is R vector or R AR cap. Okay, so this R vector can be written here R AR cap minus Z AZ cap. Okay, so this R modulus of this R vector equals to root over of R square plus Z square or minus of Z square. That means after squaring we have R square plus Z square, R square plus Z square. Okay, so now what is the DH? What is the DH over here? So DH will be IDL cross R vector divided by 4 pi into R cube, right? So IDL cross R vector, DL vector cross R vector. So what is the value of DL vector cross R vector? DL means dr AR cap cross R vector means R AR cap minus Z AZ cap, right? So the dot, it is the dot product, right? It is a dot product, sorry, it is a cross product, right? So your result will be AR cap will be 0 and Z dr AR cap cross AZ cap. What is the AR cap cross AZ cap? It will be minus DZ AZ cap. It will be minus AZ cap. Okay, sorry, it is the minus A phi cap. We are taking it is an RZ phi. Okay, or rho Z phi, which is phi cap here. So I Z DZ A phi cap divided by 4 pi and R cube means R square plus Z square to the power 3 by 2. Okay, so DH vector equals to this one, and after integrating we have H vector equals to, okay, so this one. So today's class up to this much, and please wait for next day. I will continue from here. Okay.